Hey there, everyone, and very best wishes. Here we are at lesson 89. This is still part of the review, and we're reviewing I am entitled to miracles. And the second one for later in the day, let miracles replace all grievances. Now you might say, these certainly do seem redundant. It seems like we keep talking about the same thing over and over again, and you're right. Because remember, this is a rewiring of your brain process. For millions of times, you have allowed thoughts of what's not right about you or someone else or the state of the world or what you're furious about or what your problems are or how you don't measure up or something to be constantly present. So therefore, we've got to have another idea that's constantly present because we want to replace those with these, which are going to allow you to have the kind of life that you deserve. So here's our first one. I am entitled to miracles. Remember, miracles are simply that shift in the way we see things that allows us to be aware of the presence of love. And it says, these are my right. It's my right to be able to change my mind and see what else there is to see. I am entitled to miracles, this awareness of love, because I'm under no laws but God's, i.e., I'm under no laws but love's, which means basically whatever I give, I have more of. Nothing is ever taken from anyone. No one is ever diminished. Everyone's always safe. Everyone's always at peace. That's what the laws of love offer me. It says these laws of love release me from grievances. So you might say, releasing grievances allows me to be aware of this, and vice versa. So it's just one great big closed loop that I want to get involved with instead of the one we are now, which is I feel terrible. It's everybody else's fault. I want to make them guilty, not realizing that it makes me even more guilty. And the little place I'm in gets smaller and tighter and more cramped and more painful. So that's what we're trying to undo here. It says I want to accept these miracles. I want to accept the awareness of love in place of feeling like I've been wronged. And being wronged can't ever really do anything except make me afraid. It's just an imaginary wall. How many times have you believed something was absolutely so, only to find out later it wasn't? Well, this is a case like that. It's not that anything has changed except the way you see it. So this is what we're doing, is changing the way we see things. Now I would accept only what the laws of God or the laws of love entitle me to have, which is love and peace, so that I can use that to continue my releasing, to continue this closed loop, so to speak, of the more I release, the happier I am. The happier I am and the more aware of being loved and safe, the more it's easy to let go, etc. So you can use these ideas to think about a little bit more. Behind this, now this, as always, can be anything. It can be just any disappointing situation or person. So behind my perspective of this as disappointing is a miracle to which I'm entitled. It's possible to see that there's something very loving, very supportive, and something that's very much in my actual best interests going on here, so that I can go, thank you for this, instead of, ain't it awful? Let me not hold a grievance against you, name the person, but offer you the miracle that belongs to you instead. So I don't want to pretend like you've wronged me, because if I offer you the gift of guilt, which is what I'm doing, if I've decided that you have wronged me, then I'm the one who's going to experience that. Not a good idea. So I want to offer you, I want for you, I want on your behalf that you experience the presence of love, and I will increase that in myself. And the last one says, seen truly, this offers me a miracle. Seen from another perspective, seen from the perspective that we are never abandoned, We're never lacking support. We're never lacking opportunities and presence and love, always being here for us and with us at every second. So when I begin to adopt that as what's true, I naturally am going to be able to see everything as supportive rather than getting in my way, which is the way the ego mind wants to interpret everything. Okay. The second one for the latter part of the day is let miracles replace all grievances, which basically says, let me be aware of the presence of love instead of convinced that everybody is hurting me, that everybody has wronged me, and that includes myself. Sometimes we blame ourselves for having wronged us. It says, if you do this, we unite our wills, what we think of as our individual will, with the Holy Spirit's. Now remember, the Holy Spirit's will is just an idea or a phrase or a word or something which represents the creative principle which our intellects cannot possibly grasp. But somehow we're able to have thoughts and have an expanded kind of an awareness, which is that bridge function between what cannot be thought about and my own thinking. In other words, it's my own thinking at the highest possible, most loving level, if you want to think of it that way. So when I decide, not only does love itself want me to experience love, but me too, sign me up. That's what I want. And when I realize that what I want, what our Creator wants, however you choose to define that, then I'm released from pain and fear and guilt. Because when I say, yes, this is what I actually want, I'm saying I'm willing for my notion of things to be replaced with the truth, according to love's plan for my discovering how much I am loved. That's what the salvation is all about. Realizing I've never stopped being eternal, infinite, an aspect of love itself. And it says, I don't want any exceptions and no substitutes. I don't want to just sometimes be at peace and sometimes be terrified. It's like I only want one thing, which is to feel fabulous. And I'll tell you, once you find yourself feeling drawn into the amazing nature, that's all I can call it, of this deep peace of mind, you don't want anything else to ever happen but that. So we don't want any exceptions. We don't want any substitutes for something that feels delicious. Okay, here's some ideas. I would not hold this grievance apart from my salvation. In other words, I don't want to hang on to the insistence that I have been wronged, it's not my fault, someone else did it to me, and I'm just going to stay here and be mad. Because if I insist on doing that, then I can't feel the peace that's mine. Let our grievances, somebody's name, be replaced by miracles. Let all the ways we think we've wronged one another be replaced by seeing everyone is doing the best they can, and behind our accusations of one another, we deeply, deeply care about one another. Beyond this is the miracle by which all my grievances are replaced. You see, as I become aware of love, I lose interest in grievances. And as I drop my grievances, I have more love to experience. So it's like I'm adopting or creating a new closed loop that I want to live in, which is the awareness of love, the assurance of peace and safety all the time. I hope that's all you experience today, and that your day is really a very lovely one. Goodbye for now.